So here is a review of the New Balance 1906L Loafer magnet, and this is a new silhouette that was released in 2024 and has been very popular, considering it's a strange sneaker in the sense that it's a hybrid. It's one of those ones where I think it's been difficult to get. Maybe they've made them in sort of limited runs, I don't know, but I managed to hit up on the W on these, which I'm quite sort of surprised by. And basically, like I said, it's taking a take of the 1906 sneaker, and that being a lifestyle 2K sneaker now, turned it into like a shoe. And the 1906 was named after the year NB New Balance was established. And this one is part of the Magnet series, so this is the trainers that have been releasing, or pieces of footwear that have been releasing from New Balance in 2024, winter 2024, which have been 2 pairs of New Balance 1000, and I think there's also another pair of New Balance, which I can't remember off the top of my head what model it is, and then this 1906L. So with the details, it comes in a Magnet, Phantom, and Inkwell colour scheme. So the Magnet, I think, is the brown type colour that you got, and then you got the Inkwell and maybe the Phantom being around here. So this probably is Phantom, the little grey areas that you see up on the trainer, and also the midsole and the heel and cup. So, and then also the Inkwell, which is more of a sort of navy going towards purple colour on the mesh material. So it's a quite sort of cool combination in my eyes. And this has an ABZORB midsole. So this is what's strange about this particular piece of footwear, because it's a shoe. It's using the midsole and outsole of a 1906R, and the ABZORB provides that sort of compression and impact protection as well. And also the N-ergy system gives that sort of rebound effect. So these are the little gel-like pillars that you see here, and they're very good for when you're sort of walking, and gives you that sort of neutral comfort, but also has a little bit of softness and give. And it also has, just the strangest thing is the shank plate, so the stability wear plate in there. That's really cool, and that stops your foot from twisting. And it's made up of all mesh, and I guess this is sort of leather materials. And the price on these is £120. So with the comfort and sizing, I think these are on the medium side, maybe going towards the firm as well, so bear that in mind. I think out of some of the 1906 series or the 2000R that I've basically had had to test, I think these ones are kind of more slightly on the firmer side, and it just depends on what 1906 you get. The 1906R, the gold silver colorway that I've got, has a really nice insole, and that's got more of a sort of bouncy sort of feel to it. This one is slightly more on the firmer side, more, I suppose, kind of like a shoe-like experience, but still very much a 1906R, still sort of, a little bit of plushness and give with the midsole outsole combination, but just bear in mind that it is more on the firmer side of a 1906. And also, because it's more shoe-like, it has more of a neutral arch support. So you can see it has a slight sort of contour in there, but because it's made more as a shoe, expect it to be more of a flat type piece of footwear. And I think true to size works on these. I think for me, I have a UK size, so these are a UK 7.5, which is I think a US 8. But usually if I go true to size, it'll be a UK 7, which is a US 7.5. But my toe with sort of thick socks on comes to about here, which I think is perfect. I do have a little bit of heel slippage, but I think the nature of the shoe, I don't think you're going to get away from that. I think even if I went true to size, I just feel like it'll be too snug in this area near the toe box, and also maybe on the width. And that's the reason why I kind of went up half size. But I know the American sizes differs, so I'd say with the American size, you might actually prefer going down half size in these. And because it's just a mesh type footwear, and they've got sort of leather panels around on the sides, there's no sort of wearing time. I think you need a little bit of time for the midsole to sort of break in a bit, but I just found them fine on foot, much like any other sort of 1906 model. And what I really like about these is the traction. It's really, really good. Being from a 2002R, 1906R, an 860 V2, it's a really good traction, and I just feel like they work perfect in any condition. So with the look and style, it's got that futuristic 2K runner, but also, like I said, that shoe-like experience. And then also like this colourway as well, with the sort of brown and sort of going towards navy, almost sort of purpley tone, and then the greys on there as well. I think it adds a bit of contrast and a bit of oomph to the sneaker, and I feel like it works very well as a smart piece of footwear. And I feel like these are more sort of spring, summertime. Again, not to say that you couldn't wear them in autumn, winter. Like, these are sort of more for, like, you know, if I was going out, I wouldn't hesitate to sort of wear them with a suit, for example. And that's why I put them in the casual to smart casual category, because I feel like it's one of those pieces of footwear that you can wear anytime. You know, even if you wanted to sort of dress down, you just want to wear it with a pair of jeans, you could do. And, you know, these are pretty much look like shoes, which is really nice. And the fact that they're slip-on as well makes it really easy to sort of put them on and off. So with the final thoughts, I do like the dark colourway, and I think the colourway on this is really nice. And getting them in person, I wasn't too sure when I saw them online, but getting them in hand, I think, you know, out of the silver pair and then the Jun Watanabe pairs, which were white and black, I think this pair is really nice. And I'd probably say maybe the black pair is top, because that's just a bit more sort of versatile with what you can sort of wear it with. But again, those are really difficult to get. And it's a unique silhouette, so I really like that. I really like the fact that New Balance have tried something different and do something else. And I think this one is a prime example of taking some of the Y2K sort of technology and making it different. And also I like the fact it's got Ortholite insoles in there as well. It's not like amazing, but it's still very good, and it's still quite sort of on the thick side as well, and I feel a little bit of comfort in there. But yeah, still, you know, very nice to have as well. And the cons, I think the only thing is with these, everything else is perfect. I think the comfort overall, I think it doesn't compare to some of the other 1906 models. I think it's, you know, it's very small. I think, you know, I'd give these like an 8 out of 10, whilst some of the other models that I've worn, you know, I'd probably give like 9 or a 10. So it's very small, but you'll notice a bit more sort of firmness with this particular pair. So with the ratings, I'm going to give the look and style a 5 out of 5. I just think it's really cool. It shouldn't work, but it does, being a sneaker shoe. And the comfort, I'm going to give it a 4. Normally with 1906, most of them I'd give a 5, but there's a few models here and there that I've seen that fit slightly different or have a bit more of a firmer feel. And for example, like the protection pack, you know, the 1906 protection pack, which I think is the 1906N, those have a slightly different feel on foot, and they don't feel as soft. And the quality, I'm going to give that a 5. I think overall, you know, like what you see and what you get for the price that you're paying is really good. And then that brings me on to the price as well. Obviously for shoes, £120 is more on the expensive side, but for, you know, for what you're getting, the combination of that mishmash of trainer shoe, I think it's perfect price, and it's what most 1906Rs should be priced at £120. And that's why overall I'm going to give the sneaker a 5 out of 5. You know, or shoes, should I say? Give it a 5 out of 5. The reason being is just I have a unique, I suppose, use case for these. I don't tend to get on with shoes, and especially like these low cut shoes, so I end up wearing boots. And the reason for that is I have a scar on the back of my ankle and or heel area. So for me, I find it difficult wearing normal shoes, and this one seems to be one of those ones where it's such a niche use case for me personally that I just feel like they work perfect for what I would wear them for. And it would be mainly sort of smart occasions really that I'd wear these, but they're perfect for that kind of stuff, you know. And it'll be something that I'll be keeping for a long time, as long as the midsole outsole sort of holds up. It's one of those things that's probably going to replace a couple of pairs of my, you know, sort of more formal shoes, because just really like wearing, you know, this sort of trainer sort of hybrid type piece of footwear. And I think going forward, I hope New Balance release more of these in different colorways, and you know, I'd be more than happy to grab them. But like I said, I'm kind of in a unique use case, but I think for most people, if they're looking for something more formal to wear to work, or, you know, out and about, or like, you know, if they go out for quite sort of formal occasions, then this is a great piece of footwear. And I think they look unique as well compared to other shoes. I just think they look awesome.